During the fall season of 2017, reports kept flooding in the police department of a tall, bloated creature found at the northeastern coast of Florida by numerous residents of Brevard County. After these booming reports and sightings spread to local media, all internet pages on this creature were intentionally shut down. My name is Jacob Valens, and I live in Brevard County, Florida. It was not until early October till I realized my life was starting to change significantly. I was part of a YouTube community full of Godzilla fans around my age. It was a strange community of people, but there were numerous things that took place in it, such as this one Godzilla YouTuber named 347 Nerfman who began all these annoying and aggravating YouTube wars between these other teenagers such as Louis Duran. Oh, I love Louis Duran because of his revolutionary Godzilla fan films such as Rise of Destruction. Such a spectacle to the eye. Better than that stupid trash this other Godzilla YouTuber named Kaijuzilla621 put out. But on my little heart, my true favorite YouTuber always stood out enormously than these other Godzilla YouTubers. His YouTube channel name was Gojira5400. A Godzilla YouTuber, of course. I mean, this guy, every day coming home from school during the chilling winter of 3rd grade, I lay down in my small, cozy, warm bottom bunk bed with cloudy skies, a deep, white, dim light glimmered through my window as my cheap laptop faced away from the windows for no glares on the videos I watched. I didn't expect a video from Richard. Richard. That was his name. But because he took time on his projects, unlike others. An interesting fact about me and Gojira5400 is that we lived in the same county. Same city, surprisingly. I tell my other friends online about this and they don't even lift an eyebrow to care. YouTube was my life. I was socially awkward and almost a mute, as my neighbor called me. I thought way too much in my head. I never reacted or taken action to any situation. I just observed. Later through the months, I started noticing Richard's lack of uploads. It was awfully weird since I used to remember seeing about 8 uploads a month. But then, it was different. Only 1 video per month. Not only that, but I noticed something peculiar to Gojira5400's channel. It was honestly astonishing when I started realizing this, but Gojira5400's personality. In his videos, he was off. I couldn't put my finger on it at first, but I thought about the differences a lot. Thought about it for hours, thinking how he's slowly deteriorating as a YouTuber. I mean, he started pulling out hateful content towards some of my favorite movies, such as Shin Godzilla. I mean, Shin Godzilla wasn't a bad movie, but, I mean, who cares? It's just a movie, I said to myself. But then I started noticing he started bringing upon his channel creepy vibes. I get there were jokes, but slowly I started to see this vibe from him creep up repeatedly. My friend NDK Films, another Godzilla YouTuber, gained some information on where Richard's been from Kaijuzilla621. What I heard just gave me chills down my spine. Because I started hearing that Richard's content changed. And trust me, when you hear me say change, I mean that I was physically uncomfortable when I saw the videos he's been putting out. There was a video that was 16 seconds long. The thumbnail was just a plain black picture with the title heading of the word Fort. I thought it was so silly. Without thinking, I just clicked on the video. But what happened before, not during the video, is what made my heart slowly turn cold. The spinning circle in the middle of the black screen went on for seconds, even minutes. The more time it took for the video to start, the more my heartbeat started to become audible throughout my body. A sweep of ice was felt throughout my body like a shockwave once the video began, of Richard without a shirt rubbing barbecue sauce all over the bathroom's tub, dripping even from the faucets and drainage pipes around him. They were springing out of the ground. This was unbelievable since drainage pipes run a foot under the completely sealed marble flooring, and they seem as they were just ripped out like toothpicks. Do you know those times when you feel like a feather or hair lightly taps your legs, arms, or neck? Well, I felt that all along my legs, arms, and neck. My body still, completely still. I was paralyzed for 5 seconds in a body that only my eyes darted around, noticing I couldn't move my body, not even my fingers as they twitched viciously. Only my thoughts and eyes could be controlled, tensing up more and more per second. Once my body darted back into control with the burning feeling of ants rising up my feet, when they've been twisted for minutes, I looked around and feeling the electrifying presence of something, I ran all across the house, screaming and hollering in fear in a flight instinct, wanting nothing else in my life but my parents to hug and cling on to close my eyes and feel safe. But there was one problem with that. They were nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. Dad wasn't at the computer in the living room. Mom wasn't in her room watching TV. All I could see was the slow diminish of light shimmering around the house as the clock behind me read 8:11 p.m. My parents never left the house, and the feeling of dread and loneliness just infested my brain in the wake of seeing the shades of orange left over by the sunset disappear into a charcoal black screen across the sky without stars. I darted back into my room and shut and locked the door, holding nothing but clenching furiously onto my makeshift blade crafted from a broken branch, that even my hands became maroon in color for holding it that long. As I flipped the laptop that was thrown across the ground, I checked to see if the video I had seen earlier was only a figment of my imagination, but something more maniacal had appeared on the screen. It was a Google document with the text set at font size 16, with the question, "Who would you like to kill in the Godzilla fanbase?" My mind was blown when I saw this, so in my head, without answering, I began to picture many faces from the YouTube community, randomly. And once I felt irritated, in an instant, I proceeded to shut the screen until the split second before it turned off, the text grew to font size 96 with realistic engraved detailing as it went black. I felt an awful taste in my mouth. It almost felt waxy. As the silence grew stronger and progressively heavy in my ears, the sound was interrupted when I recoiled back uncontrollably and threw up mustard all over, staining the carpet floor. I thought this was just some sick dream I was having, but the difference is that from typical dreams, I felt true pain, physical pain, as my brain began to feel numb, almost passing out as I felt a shade of red light glisten into the right side of my eyes. I quickly looked back in a rapid movement, seeing the lights in my room spring back on. But my brain wasn't focused on the fact that the lights finally came back on, but the fact that I'm now looking at the thing that's been staring at me for the past 19 minutes unknowingly, unmoving, sitting there in complete muted silence like a picture dazed over, looking at me with a large perky smile. A smile holding back the happiness and joy the creature had for staring at my body. Engraved veiny red eyes pressed into the wide skull of the creature. This was a person I thought upon first viewing. "Richard," I said out loud. The millisecond that it took for my eyes to blink was just the right amount of time it needed to leave. Realizing it was gone, my ears at the moment only heard the loud, thundering, beating sounds of large bare feet pounding on the marble floor, charging through my house, only heading my direction, and without knowing my hidden location. I had already left my bedroom to the pantry closet across the hallway, but somehow, some way, this creature always knew where I was, almost like it read my mind. I heard the deep, quick exhales that pumped out like a mechanical machine as my heartbeats became louder than the sounds the creature emitted himself. I forced my eyes shut, forcing myself to think of rushing water along my uncle's creek. I was stunned when I heard the sounds of the creature halt only 3 feet away from bursting open the pantry doors. And once again, I felt the light tap of a feather on my neck, only this time it was waxy. I walked into the pantry room by dawn, uncovering the yellow sheets placed by the other men, to only find the corpse of the young, small child cut into 9 different segments from top to bottom, rearranged to form the word meat. As I tread backwards, letting the others slap the crime scene tape along the door, I slammed the door of my patrol car to sit down and think. As I thought about the situation, I pulled out the paper out of my right pocket, dictating the other 3 words recovered from the last 3 bodies. Have, we, and the. There was only one sickening thought in my head, is that what made Richard do this? What pushed him to do this? And for what purpose? These are the questions you ask yourself, but all we know now is that he's gone. Till then.